Hi everyone, hi. Yes, it is me, it's Jaff of Medieval Mirage. It's the 5th of February 2020 and yes, I've come down with some virus and I know a lot of you have been concerned that you can't find your plastic lace, and I want to say I'm really sorry I haven't been around to continue uploading things for you to help you out in that instance, but I'm hoping 2020 will be a better year for me. I hope you are all well. Welcome today. But one of the projects is I'm going to be creating kits for those of you, for anyone basically, but for those of you that want to have some really nice impressions on your coffee and tea dyed paper. I'm making it possible. So this is kind of the style we're looking at, and I will talk about this more when my voice returns and I'm feeling better. But these will be available. Now these are based on embroideries from between the 15 and 1600s, so they are the real deal. These I just have to double check with these ones. These are different. This is a different one, but this one is yeah. But anyway, so it's about adding more drama and interest to your coffee paper. So these you'll be able to print. You can do it on a laser printer and then coffee stain it, or you can dry your coffee tea dye paper, flatten it with a book, making sure it's nice on one side because that's where the printer is going to pick it up, and then you can get the impression. I don't know if I've got one, but yeah, you can actually get the this impression on that, and it looks fantastic. My husband was telling me how much he likes this rather than just on white like this, but you can have it on white if you like, but it's very dramatic. In the meantime, I thought, why not let us prepare some of the papers. Now a lot of you have been again feeling a little bit like the tub containers does take too long and you're in a rush. Here's another one for those of you that do have chronic pain, or those of you that are in a rush and can't wait and aren't able to wait and you need your papers, or say you're down to 5 papers and now you need another 20 maybe, or 10, or even 30, and you're going, oh no, I don't feel like doing the tub, it's going to take me 3 days, I need them now. Well, here's another solution. So a lot of you will be familiar with trays. I don't know if you can see this, and it's basically, so this is A4 paper, 2 can just fit nicely. So it's a large tray, and I actually use these for when I'm doing my projects, because I have a high rise of projects. One idea will spark off another, and then so with these papers here, they're still a bit damp. So these were done, and I'm going to show you for those of you that just want something fast and you don't want it, you know, any decorations on it. So these are just these ones, so they're still a bit damp, and you just want a bit of a lighter one. And these will be perfect for this. They're going to be perfect for that. So these are the papers. So they're nothing special, but you may just need nothing special in some instances. And the other thing I wanted to say was, whoops. And once again, remember, you put them under books. But they actually lie nice and flat in this tray situation. They're nice and dry. You can print your images on top and it will really give it a great effect. So how to do this method, it's probably been done before, I don't know, but this is how I used to do it years ago. Sometimes I didn't have much space to spread out, so I thought, right, I've got this little spot here, what can I do? And I'll show you what I did. So quite, it could be like about 1.5 inches high. So yes, you can lay down whatever you like between your papers as you would do in a tub, but remember this is shallow because you want this, you want a Speedy Gonzales collection of papers. You don't have to have paper towels down, but because I'll be using this for other things, I want it to sort of be as clean as possible, though it's easy to wash out. So basically all you're going to be doing, I'll just start off this way, and I'll just put those papers somewhere where they can dry. And the papers will not stick together, just leave them overnight. Like this. So this is the technique that I've used. Now if you've got napkins underneath or your lace, this is when sometimes the impressions can come through. So just remember, you can use your laces with this, your plastic lace, your stiffened lace, your stencils, and bubble wrap, your netting, whatever you wish. Okay. So just to get it started, I'm going to just do this with 2 of them. Okay. Get the bowl rolling. So this is just a coffee, it's dunked into the coffee or tea. I've put both in there, tea and coffee. And just try and go to all the layers. And it is super fast. It won't take that long. Alright, and then what you're going to do is you're going to lay these down together like so, and then you're going to do this method again. And you can be as haphazard as you like. You're going to grab another piece. Okay, and then this is what you're going to start getting. Hey everyone, I'm back. The battery ran out, so I just changed batteries. So I've kind of forgotten what I was showing you. Oh, that's what I wanted to also say. For those of you in winter and you want something fast, try this out. So you could get something that's a little bit higher up, but you want to keep it shallow so that you can get a lot of them done if you're in a hurry, but also for the technique that I'll be showing you. Okay, so you can be as haphazard as you like. And this is why layering it in different sections is going to produce some really interesting effects. Oops. Okay. So this is for just speeding up. And you can, doesn't matter if the paper gets wrinkled. Dab it like that. And then you're just basically removing it like this. And so it goes. And you can put that there. And then just keep layering on the top. squeeze here and there. And you're just going to leave them, and they should dry overnight. But if you lift it up underneath, look at that. So you're getting some pretty cool designs. Okay, and you just can be haphazard. So just go along there and look how much you can layer on. So the higher you go, right, the higher this will go, the longer it will take. So, yeah. For it to dry, I should say. Well, it will take a while anyway. I'm going to put that there. I'll just start on another one. And another thing you can do, I'll show you. So let's put this down. It's a bit hard because I've left the tea bags in there and they're getting in the way of me. Yeah, getting to that. Okay, you're going to flip it over. Here we go. I'm just going to throw on some of that. The reason why I'm not putting these in the traditional way, okay, so I'm going to lay those down together, you know, by dunking them, is because I don't want the drippiness to kind of start. I just want the coffee to just go on the paper, not for it to be pooling. I mean, there'll be a little bit of residue, and that's going to help speed up your papers. But let's have a look. So this one's just an old, it's still, again, coffee staining in limited space, and you can use plastic glaze and stencils if you wish, right? But for the technique, the tutorial that I'm going to be doing, we just want our papers plain, but we want to have papers fast so that we can do this quickly. Have the papers for us fast. And when the paper wrinkles, you can get all sorts of cool effects. Have a look at this one here, because oops. Alright, so remember we were doing this, so it's already picked up the papers there. I don't mind a bit of the white exposed, and it's quite a light brew as well, but see, it kind of cuts a bit of your work down, and you can get all sorts of groovy impressions. I'm just going to be a little bit heavy-handed. So, I mean, this is what we used to do at school, this kind of stuff, creating patterns with this. So why can't we use it for our coffee staining? And like I said, maybe someone or a few of you are already doing it this way. This is how I used to originally do it. So, but you see, when you pick this up, see what's underneath is getting picked up. It may be a light bit, but it's, you know, so because I like that there. Hopefully it'll stay, but it'll probably end up leaving. Yeah, but anyway, let's pull it apart, and there you go. There's another kind of interesting result. So that's what I wanted to share with you, everyone. If you need something even smaller and more compact, here you go. And then you can finish it off like that if you like, and let it just sit there. So basically we've downsized it from a plastic container or bin, some of you call them bins, or a plastic container. We've downsized it to a tray. It doesn't have a lid, though if you wanted to, you could get a board or a wire rack that can sit over the top, and then you can do another tray and have them high-rised. And then still, this can go under a bed, under a table. It can still be kept out of the way. It's very discreet. It could even be left on your crafting table in a corner. It's doing its own thing. You just want to make sure it's in a, you know, a warm place, especially in winter. We've got summer here, though it's been a weird summer. It's kind of been quite cold. And then we've had this really monsoonal kind of weather. It's been weird. So these, when I was doing these, they were basically dry. I did them late last night and they were basically dry. Not these, but these guys here. So don't worry, the papers, once they've dried, will not stick together. And yeah. Anyway, everyone, I just wanted to show you that, and also how to, if you've got twine or ribbon or trim and you want to just get it done, rather than popping it in there because you need it, I don't know, it's just a little shortcut. So rather than popping it all in there, you can just run that through and it's done. Or you can just, you know, squirt all this out and then you can just dip it in and it's done, and you can always leave it on there to dry and it'll leave an interesting impression. Oh, now talking about impressions, let's just make the most of this. I do get a bit excited when I do this coffee business. It's just so much fun. Okay, so now, remember, this is like our mop-up page. This is probably going to be a little bit busy for what we want to do, but not necessarily, because some of the papers will have more of an edged impression with the kit that I'll be sharing with you. So I just wanted to give you shortcuts to getting your papers done as fast as possible. So there you go. So have a mop-up page where you just, you know, throw this on and, you know, yeah, because it will have some really cool effects. And then you can just squeeze that out and you're done and dusted. And you can turn this around and see what it's looking like. Alright, okay, so I will be back to show you what these look like dry, and hopefully, because it's the 5th of February 2020, so I'm going to leave this in this room because the heater is just over there. This is where my craft room is, and I'm just going to let them dry. And 225 5th of February.
And now for the results.
Hey everyone, it's me again, but it's now 8:30 nearly in the evening, and these have been, because I'm not well, even though it's summer, I've had to have the heater on low. But anyway, I wanted to lift these up because I started lifting them up, but just to show you that they do dry out really quickly. And even though they're kind of they're a little bit damp to the touch, that's okay, because then you can just stack them and let them air out. And then once they're dry, then you can put them under your book. But yeah, I'll just show you them in just a second, and I'll get the others as well, and then you can just see that they're really simple. There's nothing special to them, and like I said, there's a purpose for this. But this is for those of you who are in winter and just can't be, you know, waiting for things, or you're in a rush and you've run out and you need more. So I'll just move that out of the way. Or for those of you that struggle with pain and you know, can't do much with regards setting yourself up. For the purpose of the tutorial that's coming, it's probably better to have it as plain as possible, but still not white. You can still do white, there's nothing wrong with white, but you may prefer a little bit more of a, you know, a vintage look or an antique look. So, so I just thought, okay, well, I need some fast, and I just don't, and because I'm sick, I just didn't feel like doing my tub personally, so I wanted just a few papers really, just to test out my my kit, as well as show you how it's all going to go down. And so I just thought, well, let's just do a shortcut for those of you that need a shortcut with the limited space. So once again, it's just a tray. It fits 2 A4 papers like this beautifully. And you can use your laces, your stencils, your plastic lace, whatever you want to give impressions. So if that's what you would like to do, go right ahead. But you will see that it's not very deep. So you'll, you know, but it will stop spillage, and it can be easily tucked anywhere. It can have a board put over it, so you can be working on top of it while it's drying. Like, it will fit anywhere. So on those days when you cannot get tons done and you just want something fast and quick for whatever reason, this is the solution. Now you can do the spray, and you can also do the dipping technique as well. You can dip into it if you would like to. That's no worries. However, doing it the method that I showed you, it's going to mean you're going to have limited amount of residue. So it didn't really have a lot at the bottom, because the purpose of this is not to create the drama that the other method creates. This is just a shortcut, quick papers, especially for plainer papers, and for whatever circumstance you're facing and dealing with at the time. So like I said, these have been sitting nice and flat under a book. So let me just show you the ones from the ones that I did off camera. So like I said, they're very plain. If you want more pattern, you can put all your stuff down, your plastic laces and what have you. But if you want to follow the tutorial, the plainer the better, but at least you've got that kind of vintage feel. You can go dark if you like. That's not a problem either. You can go more grungy. But yeah, so basically very simple. There's nothing special to them, and that's the whole purpose of this. I'm just showing you that they're just plain, but you will see why they need to be plain. If there is another impression on there, it could compromise the effect we're trying to achieve, because we're going to be going for that illuminated look, illuminated manuscript look. Okay, so very plain, nothing special. Alright, so now I'm going to get these out of the way. So these are still damp to the touch, but they're, you know, if I just leave them out like this, they'll dry. You can see the difference a little bit side by side. How these are more flat and these are more curly. Now let me just excuse my grungy hands, by the way. It's just from coffee staining. Okay, now obviously it depends on your room of your home. If it's really, you know, below zero or whatever, it's freezing, well, anything's going to take forever to dry, you know. But because they've been lightly given a light washing over, they should dry a lot faster than usual. So it's supposed to be a shortcut and a fast track of getting papers quickly, but still using that limited space with the tray rather than a bin. Okay, so as I said, these are still a little bit kind of damp to the touch. So you don't have to brush it on, you can just wipe it on and smoosh around, and basically it's done. And it's not soggy and soaking, so you're not going to really get dark edges with this one. Yeah, bit of bubble effect there. I love that, and I do like how there's a little bit of off-white. And now this one here, this is why it's great to have a mop up. So when you're spooning it in, have a put your cup down or your bowl or whatever, and spoon it in, and the drips will kind of add that character. So this is why it's great to have a piece of paper that's mop up, because then it really can create some interest. So these ones are quite dry because these were at the top, so you know, a little bit of interest there. Okay everyone, thank you everyone for joining me today, but please be careful out there. Take care of your beautiful selves. Thanks for joining me, and I will be back to show you how we can now take these papers to the next level. Thank you. Take care everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.